women do choose men who are not clavicular and choose men who are not King 6'8". They do choose men who can just don't be Russell Wilson, be Future. That's all I'm saying. Like, have standards for yourself. They do choose some of these men. The problem is it creates this scenario, and I was actually talking to William Costello about this whole idea, is that one of his complaints about red pill content in general is that if you take it to its ultimate conclusion, every moment you're not with your girl, some Chad is coming up and bending her over a table. And that is not the truth. Women are hypergamous, but there are ways for you as a man to show enough status and have enough boundaries and be secure enough to where she's not going to do that.
Funny.
It doesn't mean ever. It doesn't mean every dude, I don't care how much game you have, you can get cheated on. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there is a solution, and the solution is not to be 6'8" or to smash your face.
It's because guys who don't get really insecure.
Yes,
when they hear
but most guys don't. That's the problem.
When they, the 80%, right? When they hear and they experience and they see it 24/7 on social media how hypergamy actually works, and I mean if both sides of it, not just the alpha or the beta bucks, but the alpha side of it, right? When they see it live, push in their face 24/7, and it's not from the manosphere, it's from Call Her Daddy, it's from a million different women doing videos in TikTok videos in their cars.
Here's the clip. Call Her Daddy is now the new #1 manosphere podcast in the world. You heard it here first.
Yes.
So you know the cope. All the girls that come on whatever, Access Vegas, Fresh and Fit. Right. The cope is, no, you guys are just picking the dumbest girls, which is nonsense. There's
I wish it was that easy.
There's thousands of women who've been on Fresh and Fit that have master's degrees. We've had 2 Miss Nevadas on our show. It is an ultimate incomplete cope. And the reason why is because the general public doesn't like the fact when you ask women, can you name the 3 countries? And most of them can't. They can name all the astrological signs, but they can't name 3 countries. Damn. That's just the reality. The cope that I'm really confused by is if clavicular is so bad and so dumb, and I'm not making a statement of pro or against, why do these beautiful women keep making out with him on every stream? If I'm a woman, I'm trying to prove a point that hypergamy isn't real, that these men are pigs, and that we as women should do better. And then I watch the biggest streamer in the world just constantly embedded with young, hot women over and over again. It's like everything I'm trying to prove with my feminist beliefs is being disproved right here. And so why are they not furious, first off? And my second, furious about that. What about these other women that are choosing him? Why is it always Leonardo DiCaprio's fault for dating young women? Why is it never the woman's fault?
Right, yeah.
That's the first question, okay? The second question is, as men, when I watch King 6'8" or when I watch Clavicular, I look at the comments, and it's very clear to me, it's not the majority of them are not bone smashing. The majority of them are not going to get the leg lengthening surgery. The majority of them are not going to take anabolic steroids. The majority aren't doing that. What the majority of them are doing is saying, now I know why I'm not getting picked. Because I'm not King 6'8". Now I know what I'm not getting picked, because I'm not clavicular. I'm not androgenic. And because I know I'm not those guys, now I feel better about myself and I can cover myself with the warm blanket of victimhood. This is why I don't get women, right? And then you see guys who actually do really well with women, and then it's just like you just ignore them, but you just see clavicular. And I really think what clavicular's main audience is a bunch of men who want to be victims. I actually think that's what it is more than anything else.
It's always been for looks maxers, is like facing LMS. I mean, God.
Well, yeah, but it started with black pill.
Well, yeah, of course. Well, I think what's funny is like just because of like the rise of the popularity of clavicular, which by the way is all like astroturfed through Kick right now, apparently. 2 billion paid views. I mean, okay. The reason why we even know his name and you're hearing it on all these other podcasts and he gets on 60 Minutes is because he's got 1,610 guys that are just constantly, pounding out his content all the time. But that being what it is, it's still he's still just the most visible player of the message of looks maxing, right? Well, the thing about looks maxing has been around since 2016, 2014.
Oh, I would say
facing LMS was around in 2018.
Men were putting makeup on in the 17th century.
Exactly.
I think pretty far back.
You could go all the way back to that, but the thing is what I think is like women don't like to be reminded that there is that physical aspect, and if that guy doesn't look a certain way, or like what are they doing? There's like a comparison between like the guys in like a K-pop band and clavicular, and like so they're doing a poll as to which one is sexy or whatever, and they're picking clav over the K-pop fans and stuff like that. And what's getting to me is that because women are, this is the narrative of the day, is because women have become so much more empowered and they make more money, they get more education, and they have they're just better human beings in general, that they're taking care of their own long-term security needs, the beta buck side of things, provisioning, protection, and parental investment. If they can take care of that, what the f do they need a guy who's got a halfway decent for? Why are they going to, why would they take a step back in lifestyle if they can themselves give themselves a better lifestyle than this other guy? So what's left? The hot guy in the foam cannon party, the guy, clavicular, right? The guy who looks good and she wants to have a good, she just lays down good. That's the only thing that's left. I wrote an essay about this a long time ago, and the reason why Will Costello thinks that is because he hasn't read this one. I've got a post on the Rational Mail called "The Misconceptions About Hypergamy," and the number at the top of the list is hypergamy is not a straitjacket. Okay, for the guys who think that, oh, there's always going to be a guy who's going to come in and swoop my woman. It's like, yeah, that's a possibility, but the thing is the older she gets, the less swoopable she becomes. The the fatter she gets, the less swoopable she becomes. So if you get into a relationship with a woman and she's a 7 and you're a 7 and you're a parity right there, and suddenly you get to be 36 and now you're made partner in the law firm, you're going up, and she's coming down. Guess what? Hypergamy is not as big. It's not as big a deal as it was when you first met.
The problem is a man, if you're a 7, dating apps tell you that you're a 5, and the woman that you're dating that's a 7 is sure that she's a 9.
Yeah, they're all
that's the problem.
Yes.
Here's the kicker.
Yeah,
I gotta burst the bubble.
Yeah,
clavicular is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if people don't know by now, like, he's clearly been planted.
Oh yeah, he's a product.
Yeah. You go through his history, you'll find out who he really is, and where he is right now is he's to be influencing a certain demographic of people to act a certain type of way. And if you look at the history of where men were going to be 30 years ago to now, it was going to be in different gender roles. Men are going to be acting like women. Women are going to be acting like men. We are in that current stage right now. The tables have turned. A guy like Clavicular feels like he can get on a stream and say that he all these girls and turn them down and all of this, and King 68 can say that I get a bunch of girls because I'm cute, but bro, nobody can. Well, actually, the one guy did change his height from 5'8" to 6'2" or something like that. He got his shins extended or some. But it's like you can't just be 6'8" and all of a sudden get what he's getting. And I go back to Kevin Samuels because, I taught him everything he knows. And I'm with the new Kevin Samuels in this space because you have to be honest with everyone. You can't be afraid to, address the elephant in the room. And that elephant is that women aren't being shamed like they were before, to understand that if you're going to have tendencies and energy, you're going to be a hoe. And the guys that are afraid to step out, be who they are without having to compete, trying to be like this guy or that guy, then you're not going to get right. But then, Robert Kraft knows the things about rubbing tugs. So you don't have to get no to get your shit off. Go get you a nice little Asian ling ling and get your ding ding ding, and you'd be good. But everybody wants this companionship, and I want a girl, and I want to have a relationship. That shit is over, man. Those days are over, and everybody's fighting for the same thing when you're seeing the evolution right in front of you. Everything is happening in real time. You can say call your daddy and all those things. These are just girls trying to tell girls to go be hoe. Go be a hoe. It's okay. But the guys are like, no, we want traditional women. We want, no, bro. Your ego wants that. Allow them to sit back and observe what's happening, because they're going to come back like boomerangs.
Yeah.
That marketplace is not a survivable place.
That's exactly my point.
And you have to sit back and be like,
let a be a
man. And if she's a real woman, a lady, a real woman brought up by real women and all that kind of stuff, her ego is going to diminish in front of your face, and she's going to go back to what she knows as far as her survival instincts. I have to go find a good man, and I have to do whatever it is to be around him and survive around him. My morals and my integrity are going to change. But this is fun time. We have never been in a society where these options are now available. People can do what the they want. You go on the internet and choose who you want. I talking to a girl from London, and she's ready to move in. Like, that's London. I'm not in London. I'm talking from my WhatsApp. I can do what I want. She can do what she wants. She probably had 10 other guys that she was talking to. Before, it wasn't like that. Now it is. But the thing is, it's not different at all, is that women cannot survive on their own without having some type of guidance from the male perspective. It's always perspective. And the same thing goes with males. If you have a bunch of guys in a room and you're trying to do a certain thing and then your female comes in and she gives her perspective, we're going to be like, damn, I didn't look at it that way. One guy will be like, I did. We wasn't listening to you. She came in. She's sexy. She's hot. She said it. We're all paying attention. But now we look at the marketplace and it's all wide open where we can judge the girls and say they shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. They're going to do that shit anyway. The girl that cheats on you was the girl you never thought would cheat on you. I never thought you would do that to me. And she did it. And then you go to the next girl and you're like, you're protective now. You're like, the last girl, stop being a little, being so insecure. I would never do that to you. And guess what she does?
Same damn
Does the same damn thing, but you trust her the same way. So why is it that you have to put up this wall of protection where this is what it is? Women are going to be women. We're going to be who we are. The space is wide open for everybody to have fun right now. We've always been restrictive of the romantic relationship, situationship, whatever you want to call it. Everybody wants to be so traditional. It's not that anymore.